Recording on.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to LisaBug Yoga. Today we have a little bit of work for the neck and upper back and shoulders, a little bit of therapeutic movement for tight and tense areas in our shoulder, upper back, and neck. We'll also be doing a fair amount of twisting, rotation. I have a chair as an option. It's sometimes nice for a little bit of help with your balance work. We'll also be doing triangle pose and revolve triangle. So sometimes it's nice if you're a little bit tight in your hamstrings to have your hands on a chair for triangle. I also have a block and a yoga strap and maybe a blanket as we get started in a seated position. So let's come down either seated on your yoga mat or on a chair if you would like. And get nice and comfortable. And you can sit in simple cross-leg pose, or you could just extend the legs out in front of you, sit in a comfortable place. Just close your eyes and begin to bring your awareness to the breath. And allow your breath to be an even tempo in and out through the nose. Equal ratio breath. Filling the lungs deep into the belly. And think about a straw from your nose through your throat all the way down into your belly, and just fill that straw with the breath. From the belly, up through the middle of the ribs, all the way into the nostrils. And then exhaling from the nostrils, through the throat, through the ribs, and down into the belly. Allow your breathing to calm your mind, to relax your body and your emotions. As you breathe, bring your awareness to your body if there's any areas you're taking care of today. Honor yourself today. Honor your body. Give yourself permission to take modifications that will be best for you. So we'll just begin to slowly rotate the head from side to side, to the right and to the left. And allow your neck to be as long as you possibly can make it as you turn from side to side. Gentle movement, not a forced twist, but softened. And just notice if you're feeling any tension in your neck or your shoulders. And see how far you can look behind you as you turn. And the next time you look to the right, take the rest of your body into that twist, reaching your left hand across, maybe to the right knee, right hand behind you. So we'll hold this twist to the right and start to move your head again from side to side. Looking to the left and looking to the right. Twice more. One more time, just look to the left and hold. And then bring that head back to center. Take a nice big inhale here. Exhale, turn your body and your head all the way around to the left. Look behind you. Maintain this twist with your body and start to look to the right and to the left. And just notice where you're feeling the stretching and the releasing of tension. One more time, look to the right and hold. So we're in opposing twist, the body to the left, the head to the right. And bring your head back to neutral and your spine to neutral as well. Reach the arms out. Inhale, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Now, if it feels uncomfortable for your shoulders, your arms don't need to be up. You can keep them down. We're just rotating through the spine. And I want you to feel the muscles in your back pulling yourself around into that twist. The posterior oblique muscles, the spinal muscles. One more to the left. And come to center. Relax your hands down. If you're sitting crossways, you can change the cross of your ankles. And we'll start to circle the spine around 5 times, leading to the right. Loosening up the lower back. Feeling some stretching in your hips. Abdominals are connected. One more time this direction. Then pause, take a breath in, and reverse to the left. 5 repetitions around. And if you're moving at a slower pace, that's okay, take your time. Just notice what you're feeling in your back as you move. Diagnosing any problem areas for you today. And one more time around this direction. And back to neutral. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, side bend over and hold a little side stretch. Breathe into the left side ribs. Maybe the head rotates up. 2 more breaths. And come back to center. Take a big breath in. And exhale to the other side. Open up the ribs, the armpit. Lengthen. And coming back up. Fingertips come behind you, either on the floor or you can interlace your hands. Take a chest expansion. Drop your chin down towards your chest. And lift it back up. Without tipping your head back, just elongate the front of the neck. And drop the chin. And lift. Once more, lower. And back to neutral. And release the arms. We'll transition to hands and knees. If you need some padding under your knees, you can fold your mat or place your blanket right underneath the knees. For cat and cow. And today, in cat and cow, we're going to be moving through some neck rotation. So, as you drop your belly, lift your tailbone, your chin rises. Start to look over the right shoulder and then down as you round up into cat. Look over the left shoulder, drop into cow. Your head is making a circular movement as your spine is lengthening through cat and cow. You can make this as slow as you'd like. One more time this direction. And then as you come back into your cow, hold, your chin is up, tailbone is up, start to look to your left. Look down as the back lifts. Look to the right and come around. And the eyes can follow the movement of the head, or you can close your eyes if it's making you feel a little bit dizzy. And just do this movement of the head with the eyes closed. With the breath, we're inhaling cow, exhaling cat. One more time this direction. And then find a neutral spine, neutral head. Keep the left hand on the floor. Twist open to the right, reach up. Thread the needle, reach under, setting your shoulder and the side of your head down towards the mat. 2 more repetitions, reach up and thread the needle. 1 more time, inhale, exhale, and hold that thread the needle. Relax your shoulders and head. Your left arm can wrap behind your back, reaching into the hip crease with your fingertips. So your head here is in a little bit of rotation as well as a side bend. So it's a nice little release for your neck, for that shoulder underneath your body, and down into the middle of the back. Pelvis is neutral, equal weight into both knees. And preparing to rise out of the pose, press into the left hand. Inhale, open to your twist. And then set that right hand down into all fours. Inhale to the left, open. Exhale to reach under. You're looking to the right. Inhale. Now your right arm is doing a fair amount of work to guide your body down towards the floor. So we've got some work into your tricep and your shoulder. 1 more time, reach up and thread the needle and hold. Option to wrap this top arm behind the back, reaching into the hip crease. Knees are about 90-degree bend. And as you breathe, relax through your shoulders. If this bothers your neck, you can press yourself out of the pose and come into child's. And preparing to rise, press that right hand down into your mat. Inhale, open into your twist. And exhale, hands to the floor. Walk the hands way out in front of you. Come into child's pose, stretch through the shoulders. Forehead comes down to the mat. So sometimes tightness in the upper back and shoulders can lead into tension into the neck. Take several deep breaths here and really expand through the ribs. One more breath in. And then rising up, walk those hands back in underneath you. Coming up to the knees, rise all the way up, stack your shoulders over your hips, take a nice big deep breath in, stretch up, Turn to the right and reach the right hand back towards your right heel. Just reach it, then lift up, stretch. Turn to the left, your fingertips go back in that direction. And again, to the right. Now you can lean back a little further this time, coming into a camel with your twist. Come up, turn, and reach. So it's up to you if you'd like to add a little bit of that back bend. If not, just stay right here into the twist, look over your shoulder. And we'll do one more on each side. Spine is long. And reach up, hold. And lower the arms down. Take your right foot, step it forward into a lunge. So you want to take a nice generous step forward and then sink down into that hip so we feel a stretch through the hip flexor. Press the palms together at your heart center and start to turn towards the right. We rotate. Turn towards the left. And to the right. And to the left. Turn all the way to the right and hold. You can stay here or bring that elbow across the thigh into twisting prayer lunge. Looking over the shoulder. 2 breaths. And coming back just to the center line. Reach the fingertips down to your mat or to your block and shift your hips back into a hamstring stretch. I'll try to level off your pelvis here so you're not scissoring your hips. Pull your toes up. You can also have your fingertips forward onto your chair if you have it in front of you and your hamstrings are pretty tight today. Now really try to lengthen your back so that we're not in a rounded, hunched position, but the back is long, the chin is in neutral. Lead with your belly over that thigh. One more breath in. And then start to soften that front knee as you come forward again. So we are going to do that sequence once more on this side. Your option now is to come up off the back knee, but you can leave the knee down and repeat. Otherwise, we can tuck the toe, lift off the back knee, and come up to our standing lunge, palms at the heart. Rotate to the right. And to the left. A lot more balance here is our challenge. And to the right. And left. Slow and controlled. All the way to the right. Either hold here upright or slide that elbow down to the thigh, twisting prayer lunge. Back leg is nice and straight if you're up off that back heel or back knee. And come back to center. Fingertips reach down on the back knee or lifted, straighten the front leg. So I'm just going to pull my chair right around here to the front. This is a wonderful option here in this pose to have the hands up and supported. Otherwise, just keep sinking down with a beautifully long spine. Maybe fingertips to your block or to the mat. 2 more breaths. And if you're up off the back knee, we'll set it back down to the mat and switch the legs back to the knees on your mat. Step the left foot forward. Take your time to come into a nice long stride, really walking that front knee forward. So we don't want it underneath our body here. So really step it out. Drop into this hip. Press palms at the heart. We turn to the left, exhale. Turn to the right slowly. So your goal is, as you're turning, not to let your pelvis move. You want to keep that lower body locked into position. Turn right. And turn all the way to the left. We can stay lifted up or bring that elbow across the thigh into our twisting prayer lunge. Looking well over that left shoulder. 2 more breaths. And coming back to center. Your fingertips come to the floor or maybe to the top of your chair. Straighten out that front leg. Flex the foot. And stretch the hamstring. Level off your pelvis so your thighs aren't scissoring. You're in a nice neutral place. I like the toes picked up. That gives me a little bit more stretch in the calf muscle. Now take any rounding out of your back. So if your chin is down, it's likely your shoulders are rounded. So bring that head up to neutral. And usually where your head goes, the rest of your body follows. 2 more breaths. And then shift back into that front leg. We can repeat these 2 poses here, kneeling or tuck the back toes. Lift up off the knee and find your balance. So when you're standing up, make sure that your feet are separated like you're standing on railroad tracks, not like you're standing on a balance beam, one in front of the other. That'll give you a better chance of balancing. You want to have those feet about hips distance apart. Press the palms, turn left. And turn right. Now the goal is to move the head with the rotation, but if you're struggling with balance, you can keep your eyes straight ahead and just turn your body. That's the beauty of spinal rotation. We can take our head with us, or we can leave it where it is. I'll come all the way to the left. Either hold upright or hinge down into that twisting prayer lunge. And try to really straighten that back leg. Pull the belly in, breathing. Rise back up. We'll start to straighten this front leg. Hands can come to your chair top or down to a block or to your mat. So this is a modification of pyramid. It's a wonderful preparatory movement for a front split. If you need to drop that back knee back down, you can take your stretch right from here. Lengthen the spine. breathing. One more breath in. And then if you're up off that back knee, drop it down to your mat. Step both of your knees back down and take child's pose. So we'll rise up to a stand, finding mountain pose. You can tuck your toes, walk your hands back to your feet or your feet to your hands, coming into forward bend. Moving your blanket, reverse swan dive, rise all the way up, reach through the fingertips. Press the palms and exhale. So we're moving into triangle pose. You may need your chair or a block next to you off to one side of your body. We're going to take the legs pretty wide onto the mat. You'll turn out the foot towards your block or to your chair and come into a nice short stance, warrior two. I want you to imagine that you're right up against a wall that's behind you. We're just going to start to side bend over to the right and then side bend over to the left. So essentially coming into side angle pose and a reverse warrior. So not twisting the spine, just lengthening one side and then the other. One more each direction. Lower body is really still, nice and strong through your right leg. And then come back to your warrior two. We'll straighten out the front leg, reach out long, and then the hand can come down to the top of your chair, to your shin, or to your block, and open out into triangle pose. Now pull this top shoulder back behind you. Imagine you're gluing it into a wall behind your body. So sometimes I'll see a triangle pose and it looks a little like this because we want to get down to the floor. But this is just a side bend, not a forward fold. So we're just opening up this left side of the body. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, soften your knee. Rise back up to your warrior two. Lower your arms down. Good. Now you can either pivot to the other side and move your equipment, or you can step the other foot forward, facing the same direction. Come into your warrior two. Give you time to set up there. So this is an open hip pose. We want this knee to be tracking over the ankle and the hips to be open. Doesn't mean they're going to face directly sideways. You're going to find the angle of your pelvis that feels best to keep your alignment of the knee. And then we'll side bend. And reverse. Make sure you're breathing, moving the breath in and out. Imagining a wall behind your shoulder blades. You're just tracing the shoulder blades along the wall, making a nice rainbow arcing movement. One more each side. And back to your warrior two. Arms don't need to be up. This is okay here. Straighten out that front leg. Lengthen and reach out long. If you brought your chair to this side, you can set your hand to the chair, come into triangle, or bring it to your shin. or lower down to a block as long as you're not bending forward and folding. Pull this top shoulder back. We can take our gaze up to the sky. We're revolving the bottom ribs forward. A little tiny micro bend in the knees so we're not locking. One more breath. As you exhale, soften that knee. Come back up to your warrior two. And relax your arms down. We'll turn both feet forward. So we have the outside of the feet parallel to the side edges of your mat. Bring your fists or your palms back to your sacrum. Lift the heart into a baby back bend, a standing camel pose. And we'll come back up. Hands can stay at the hips or reaching down to the floor, come into a wide leg forward fold. Your hands can come to the top of your chair or to a block. Wherever it feels comfortable, I want to use this for some traction for your neck. So once you get into this forward fold, let gravity pull your head down towards the earth. And begin to make a little figure eight with your head. So you're going around in a circle and then around the other way. It's like you're drawing a figure eight on the floor if there was a pencil attached to the top of your head. It's not very big, it's just a little bit of motion through the head. And then reverse the figure eight, draw it the other direction. And as you do this, let your head feel really heavy and relaxed. And you're also getting a wonderful hamstring stretch and lower back release. One more figure eight this direction. And then just let your head hang heavy. Let your shoulders relax. Then the fingertips of the left hand stay down towards the floor. We'll twist open to the right and reach up or place the hand on your hip. And as we're holding this twist, we'll move the head looking down towards the floor and then up towards the ceiling. Twice more, down to the floor and up. Last time, rotate and up. Hold this, maybe reaching the fingertips back up. One breath. And exhale it down. Twist out to the left. Arm can stay lifted or place it on your hip. Look down towards the floor. Up towards the sky. Slow movement, very mindful. And one more time. Up and hold one big breath. And exhale back down. And then hands come back to your hips with the strength of the back body. Rise all the way up. Good, and we'll step the feet together and come towards the chair side of your mat if you have your chair or your block. We are going to work on revolved triangle today. So if either your chair in front of you or your block off to the right side of your body. And then we'll step our left foot forward. The right foot steps back with a little bit of turnout. And make sure your feet are pretty wide apart. And we'll inhale, stretch the arms up nice and high. Exhale, the hands come down to your chair or to your block. Right hand goes to the block. And we'll start to turn the body open to the left, revolving our triangle pose. So the chair is really nice to have if you're pretty tight in that front leg hamstring, or you can try coming down to that block at its highest position, see how that feels for you. And this top hand doesn't have to reach, it can come to your hip or revolve behind your back. 3 breaths. That last exhalation, come out of the twist. Soften that front knee, put a little bend into it, and come up to a nice warrior 1. We'll release the arms, step the back foot forward, adjust your block to the left side of your mat, or using your chair, step the left foot back, short stance with a little bit of turnout of the foot. We'll stretch up to start. Straighten both legs. Bring the hands forward to the chair. The right arm now rotates as we open into our revolved triangle. You can try bringing this left hand down a little deeper onto your block. Hand can release to the hips. Gaze is up, or you can keep the gaze down. Nice long breaths in and out through the nose. 1 more breath in. And lower that arm back down. Bend the front knee a bit, rise back up to warrior 1. And press palms together and step your feet in. For balance today, we'll take a standing pigeon pose. So you can face your chair or you can turn around and sit in your chair. So if you're sitting, you're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh, seated in the chair. Otherwise, standing, cross the ankle over the thigh and stand here keeping the knee open. Begin to sit into chair pose. And then that chair is there for you to hold on to. We'll start to fold the upper body forward. So the more we can get our chest to drape over the legs, the more stretch we'll feel in our hips. Same thing if you're sitting in your chair. You're just crossing that ankle over your thigh and leaning forward and folding over your leg. Now find a nice rhythm with the breath. Try to lengthen the exhalation to sink into that stretch. If you don't need the chair for balance, challenge yourself here without touching. Maybe palms are at your heart or reaching down towards the floor. 2 more breaths. Carefully walk yourself back up. Unfold the ankle over the thigh. Take a nice big inhale, stretch up. Even if you're seated in your chair, just breathe in and exhale. Switching sides, put a little flex in that ankle as you cross it over the thigh. Open your knee out. If you're seated in your chair, just fold over your legs. or start to sit into chair pose. So I'm bending the standing knee, sinking into the hip. Take your time to fold your upper body over that leg for a beautiful hip stretch. It's okay to use something for balance. You can still challenge yourself, but feel a little bit more successful and be able to hold this pose and feel the stretch. Feel all those little muscles moving in your foot if you're standing up, as we work on ankle stabilization. Maybe sink a little deeper. 3 more breaths. And take your time, rising up, uncross the ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms up, take a nice stretch. And press the palms and exhale. Good, we'll work on our core today. A little special request today from Fern to work on some abdominals. One of the best things we can do for core is to hold a plank. So let's take a nice big deep breath in. Exhale, soften the knees, swan dive, reaching the hands down into forward fold. And then step your feet back behind you. Come into plank pose. So we have many variations with plank. We can have our knees down onto the mat. We can lower down onto our elbows and do this from our forearms if it bothers the wrists. We'll just hold here and breathe with a nice long spine. Feel the engagement of the abdominals, the front side, and the back side of your core. 2 more breaths. Then if you're up off of the knees, allow them to come down to the mat. Press yourself back to a brief child's pose. Moving into side plank. You can again choose to come from your wrist, your elbow, or your knee. And we'll rotate over onto one side and open out into side plank. So a kneeling side plank is a great choice to make if you have some shoulder problems or wrist problems. This takes a little bit of the intensity out of the shoulders. You can also stack your feet or stagger your feet, holding your plank here. Now with 3 breaths, we'll inhale to reach. Exhale to round and reach underneath using your oblique muscles. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. 1 more. Reach up and hold. And then come back down either to hands and knees or take a brief child's pose. Preparing to move into the other side. Take your time to set it up, either from the elbow, wrist, knees, or feet. Just hold that plank. We're stacking the shoulders, feeling the work in the underside of the abdominals. 3 breaths with a twist. Inhale, exhale, and round. And our goal is to keep our pelvis stable as we're doing this twist through the upper body. One more. Really feel that abdominal connection. Reach up and hold that plank nice and stable. And then lower the hands back down. either hands and knees or a brief child's pose. Now we'll come into boat pose. If you need some cushion for your seat, you can bring your blanket underneath your hips, your sitting bones. So with boat pose, again, very many variations. So we'll reach the arms out and just tip the body back with a nice long spine. We can hold here and breathe. Or we can grab behind the thighs and help to lift our knees up and bring our feet off the floor. We can also release the legs, hold here, or we can straighten our legs a bit and reach our arms up. So find that boat pose that works good for you. And we'll twist from side to side, 3 repetitions each direction. Slow, mindful movement. Looking from side to side over the shoulder. Once more each side. Back to center, hold. And relax the feet down. Great, let's stretch over the legs by bringing the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Lengthen the spine and hinge forward. Feel a little lower back release. A little stretch through the hips and the inner thighs. 3 breaths. And we rise up. Transition onto your back and we'll move into low boat pose. So low boat pose is more of just a scoop of the belly with the legs slightly lifted and the upper body slightly lifted. So how we'll get into that pose today is starting with the legs up. Reach the arms up towards your feet. And we'll start to lower the legs slowly. The arms come down with the legs any amount. When you feel like that's as far as you want to go, that's where you hold. You can also bend your knees and be right in here. Scoop your belly. 3 breaths. If your head's getting tired, you can support with your fingertips. 2 breaths. 1 more. Then pull those knees right into the chest. Set your head and shoulders down. We'll move into a little bit of obliques for the core, bicycling. Fingertips behind the head. Lift the head and shoulders up off the mat. Rotate. Elbow comes across to knee. And switch. Really slow and mindful. So we've been twisting our spine quite a bit today, so this should feel very easy to move through this range of motion. So we can really put the emphasis in our abdominals. One more each side. Knees in and lower down. Hug your knees right into your chest and we'll come into a twist. If you need some props, you can bring your blanket or your block off the right side of your body. We'll take the arms out into cactus arms or out like a T. Then drop those knees over to the right until they fall down onto your props or to the mat. Your head can stay neutral, just right up to the ceiling, or you can turn your head the opposite direction from your knees. Shoulders are pressed into the mat. And take a few long, slow, deep breaths in and out, expanding through the rib cage. There's a lot of variations with twists. You can allow this top knee to slide forward a little bit and drape over. Give it a little press. You can wrap the legs into a rooted twist. Whatever feels comfortable for you here in your hips and your lower back. If your head is turned to the left, bring it back to the center. If your legs are wrapped, unwrap them and either bring them one at a time back to come up, or you can bring them both together. If you have your props, you can move them to the other side. Knees stack in tabletop, arms comfortably out, and slowly drop those knees over to the left side. So it helps us to relax if we have something under the knees rather than to have them hanging in the air. That way we can really surrender to the twist. Option to turn your head to the right. Soften through your neck, the shoulders, the upper back. And if you'd like to modify that twist, that top knee can drape over or twist around into eagle position, a rooted twist. Now really deepen the breath. Expand the ribs as you inhale. Exhaling completely. One more breath in. And exhale. Bring your head back to neutral. Unwrap your legs if they're wrapped. And then pull those knees back up. Hug them into chest one more time. So we'll come into either legs up the wall or legs over your chair. If you'd like to lift your knees and set them on your chair, you can grab your strap if you'd like to place it under the bottoms of your feet to help hold your legs up. You can place your yoga block underneath your pelvis. So wherever you'd like to be here for a comfortable inversion of the legs higher than the heart. This is a great time to flex and point the ankles or to circle them around, to pump the muscles of the lower legs and help to send the blood back towards the heart. In reverse, if you're circling. And then just hold those legs extended up with or without the strap or the block. And close your eyes. Slow the breath. We'll be here for a couple of minutes in meditation. If the legs up the wall is not a comfortable place for you, you can lower your feet down to your mat, either keeping your knees bent. Your knees can touch into one another. Your knees can open into our Baddha Konasana, or extend the legs out nice and long into Shavasana. So as you breathe, clear your mind of any worry or anxiety. And breathing in the words, I am. Breathing out the words, at peace. I am at peace. We are at peace. Our city is at peace. Our state is at peace. Our country is at peace. Our world is at peace. If you need more time today in meditation or with legs up the wall, feel free to stay as you are. No need to rise. Or if you're moving with me, the legs are up, lower them down to the mat. Press your feet into the floor and lift the hips up for just a moment into a bridge. If you have a block under your hips, you can slide it out and roll back down. Take your time to roll over onto one side to sit up, or you can grab behind your knees and start to rock your body forward until you find that momentum to come all the way up. We'll close class as we started today in a nice comfortable seat with a long spine, and turn the head to the right. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Roll down to the middle. Come back to neutral. Turn the head to the left. Drop the chin and roll down. Bring the head back to neutral and just tip the head to the right, lengthening the left side of the neck. And give yourself a little bit of extra soft pull just by placing your hand, not pulling, just by weighting into that side of the head. And release it. Tip the head over to the opposite side. Option to set just the weight of your hand. And release it down. Take a breath in together, sweep the arms out, stretch, press the palms, thumbs come into the heart center. As we express our gratitude for this opportunity to practice together as a community, online and virtually. It is my honor and my pleasure to serve you this morning. Namaste. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. I'm going to stop our recording here and then say hello to anyone who'd like to linger for a minute or two.